Hello, so today's video is a review of the new fragrance from Moschino. So I've got a sample of Toy 2 Gummy. So Toy 2 Gummy has been released at the same time as another fragrance in this range called Toy 2 Yummy. And I have actually owned a few fragrances from this Toy 2 range. So I owned Toy 2 and I also owned Toy 2 Bubblegum. Out of the two fragrances, I would say neither of them were particularly me, but I did actually really enjoy Toy 2 Bubblegum. I thought it was very distinctive, it was very different. Okay, it was something that, you had to definitely be in the mood to wear, but it did feel very fun and different to what is actually out there. The bubblegum note was very distinctive. And actually, with Toy 2, I can definitely see why people like that fragrance as well. And when I think about it, I can kind of see parallels between that fragrance and even something like Byredo Blanche, which sounds nuts. But Byredo Blanche has that kind of bright, jewel-toned, fruity floral aspect. And it also has that very clean, almost laundry musk style drydown. And Toy 2 takes that idea and just makes it slightly more accessible, puts it at a lower price point, and just really kind of runs with that idea. And I see definite parallels between those two fragrances. Even though they don't smell like dupes, they do have the same idea behind them. So Toy 2 Gummy is described by the brand as an addictive, ambery gourmand. I was intrigued to try this because it's got some strange notes. It's got notes of wine. It also has a note of milk. Usually those kinds of notes are things that people absolutely love in fragrances. I couldn't really imagine from the notes how this one might smell. So how did this smell to me? So I had some incredibly different experiences with this fragrance. The first time I tried it, I completely wrote this fragrance off because I disliked it so much. But I'm pleased that I persisted because I got a slightly different experience in the second and third time I tried this one. So the first time I tried this, it kind of almost went straight to the dry down. I got a very rich feeling, caramelised feel, but I also got quite an ambery, deep woodiness from this as well, which actually turned quite sour on my skin and was quite powdery. The second time I tried this, I definitely got the blood orange in the opening. It was very distinctive. Blood orange always smells like a darker, deeper, redder version of normal orange, and it also has a kind of slight spicy warmth to it as well, and I got that very distinctively in the opening here. This fragrance also, I sense the resins, so the benzoin adds a kind of almost caramelized aspect to this alongside the praline, and it comes off almost like a very long cooked condensed milk with a ton of sugar in it. So something that's become very dark but isn't burnt, it's not a court sugar kind of smell. It just smells like a really thick feeling condensed milk. It's incredibly sweet, incredibly rich. The praline here sort of adds a nuttiness, and there's also a cocoa-like powderiness. And that is also sitting alongside a warm amberiness in this fragrance too. In the mid, you get a creamy feeling. The vanilla does feel quite rich and more like part of the condensed milk than anything really separate. But into the far dry down, it becomes more powdery, and there's also a bit more of a stronger ambery woodiness. And that on my skin turns a little bit sour. It's a little bit off-putting in the dry down. But I think, the beginning of the fragrance really was a transformation from the first time I tried it to the second, third and fourth time. It was something that I really didn't like the first time. Honestly, I just did not want to smell this ever again. And I'm pleased I persisted because I had a much better experience the second, third and fourth time I tried this. I think this fragrance is actually pretty strong, and it is something that did project, at least initially on my skin. It did last quite a long time on me, but it did dry down quite quickly. It went through its stages quite quickly. I think this one, in general, is not for me. I normally don't gravitate towards Moschino fragrances. I think they're fun. I think they're interesting. But I think Moschino as a brand hinges around a larger-than-life cartoony aspect in general. And I think they take that into their fragrances. So often they do sort of become almost comically synthetic. I think Moschino as a brand are not entirely serious in how they present themselves, and I think that comes over in their fragrances. Their fragrance is always quite whimsical and out there and extreme, and this is another example of that. It's just something that actually makes me think a little bit of Catalage fragrances that I've tried. I think that's for that reason this one is perhaps not for me, but I do think that if you like Catalage fragrances, if you like their powdery vanillas, if you like their kind of milkier fragrances, you might like this one, because I do see parallels. I would really be interested to know if other people out there have tried Toy 2 Yummy, how it compares to this one, because when I look at the naming of this fragrance, I would have actually thought that Toy 2 Gummy would better suit the other fragrance in this range, but clearly they decided to use that name for this fragrance. So I was a bit confused by that. But yeah, if you've tried this fragrance or if you've tried the sister fragrance, then please do let me know what you thought of them. And also, if you have enjoyed the video, if you found it useful, then please do press the like button, and please also consider subscribing if you haven't done already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.